streaming on clickorlando.com. You're watching News 6 at 10 p.m.
Now on News 6, a deeply disturbing investigation. A senior accused of ordering a teen to perform sex acts at gunpoint. Why there may be more victims dating back decades. And did Marcos Lopez make an illegal promise as sheriff? What hundreds of new documents reveal about the case against the suspended sheriff. And big changes are coming for your weekend. Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas reveals why this may be the most comfortable one in months. But we start at 10 tonight with big developments in the murder of Charlie Kirk. A large crowd of Central Floridians turned out to remember him tonight, hours after detectives announced his accused killer is in custody. And just in, Kirk's widow now vowing to continue his legacy. Good evening to you. I'm Matt Austin. Ginger has the night off. Mrs. Erica Kirk made a public statement about the murder of her husband tonight at Turning Point USA's headquarters near Phoenix, and she had a direct message for whoever is responsible.
The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it.
It was announced they took 22-year-old Tyler Robinson into custody for Kirk's murder. Sources tell CBS News Robinson's father saw the photos released by authorities and confronted his son. The father then reached out to a youth pastor close with the family who contacted the U.S. Marshals. Many in Central Florida came together to mourn the loss of Charlie Kirk. They walked together, held signs, and waved American flags at a vigil in Ormond Beach tonight. News 6 community correspondent Troy Campbell was there and has their message.
You can see behind me, hundreds of people showed up here in Ormond Beach to honor the life of Charlie Kirk. The community saying it's important to come together.
I am the organizer of all of this major turnout that I really was not expecting this much traction. But I am so proud of our community and proud of everybody that has came together for this.
How would you describe the crowd out here?
It's amazing. I am very proud of everybody that is here. On Wednesday, it was a pretty emotional time for me. I have been watching Charlie Kirk since 2020 probably, and I didn't 100% agree with everything he said, and neither did anybody. But he was a good man. He was a good father. He was a good husband. He was a good Christian.
First, Mayor, tell me, what's your thoughts looking at this crowd, seeing the community coming together?
This is great. I'm really surprised and happy at the same time that it'll be a great showing here so far.
Why do you think it's so important that members of the community have a place to come to mourn together?
I think it's important because when things like this happen, we want to be able to mourn the loss of people in this situation and come together as a community with other things that are happening.
How would you describe the crowd out here tonight?
I think it's great, honestly. First of all, I think it's patriotic. You know, what happened a couple days ago is very tragic, and I think this is just a great outpouring of the community and the spirit in this country that's coming out tonight.
How do you think some people have been challenged this week, whether it's they've seen images that were very graphic or they're just really hurting inside as they see our country as a whole?
Right, I think just the images this week, of course, you talked about being graphic. I think that is one of the worst things that is going around the internet right now.
How challenging has the last couple days been?
It's been very challenging. I've been upset, scared the last few days, it's a dark, dark place right now, and it shouldn't be that way.
Why is it so important that people can speak openly and not be afraid to do so?
That's what makes America great again, that you can speak in public and agree to disagree. Charlie Kirk stands for truth. We believe in the truth, and the truth will set you free.
And ultimately, the community members who showed up say they hope everyone felt a sense of belonging. In Ormond Beach, I'm your community correspondent, Troy Campbell, News 6.
Well, the Osceola County School District has launched an investigation over an employee's social media post about the shooting death of Charlie Kirk. This comes a day after Florida's education commissioner threatened employees and educators who make disgusting or callous comments about Kirk's killing. But as community correspondent Mike Valenti explains, some are questioning the state's policing of speech.
Just months into his new job, Education Commissioner Anastasios Kamoutsas is warning educators that their teaching certificates could be in jeopardy if they post, quote, despicable comments on social media regarding the horrific assassination of Charlie Kirk. In a memo with the subject line, Upholding Professional Conduct and Ethical Responsibilities, Kamoutsas said that he had learned some Florida educators were making such posts. He did not say how many teachers or posts he was referring to.
Good morning and happy Friday.
In a Facebook video posted Friday morning, Florida Education Association President Andrew Spar did not mention Kirk's assassination, but he did say that he's been reflecting on the events of the last few weeks.
I think it's really important that, one, we're careful with what we say and what we post on social media. Social media is not our friend.
But Spar also wanted to get across a second message.
Two, we've got to stand up to those who are trying to silence educators, to those who are issuing threats and intimidation and doxing educators on social media and emails and in so many other forums.
This week, the Clay County School District suspended a teacher who referenced Kirk's death in a post. And we learned Friday that Osceola is investigating an employee there. And it's not clear what that person had posted. We reached out for comment to other Central Florida districts, but have not heard back. In Kamoutsas' memo, he wrote that these few are not a reflection of the great high-quality teachers in the state, but cautioned that, nevertheless, he will be conducting an investigation of every educator who engages in this, quote, vile, sanctionable behavior. Late Friday afternoon, we ended up speaking to Andrew Spar about the memo.
I think the commissioner can take a very different tone, one that is supportive and guiding teachers and staff and administrators in our schools, rather than one that sends a chilling effect across our districts.
But it's clear the tact that Kamoutsas is taking is fine with the governor. Ron DeSantis shared Kamoutsas' post Thursday, writing that he was glad the commissioner is bringing accountability. I'm your Orlando community correspondent, Mike Valenti, News 6.
We have complete coverage of the death of Charlie Kirk, from what we know about the suspect arrested in Utah to the impacts being felt all across the country at clickorlando.com. A disturbing story tonight out of Volusia County. Not only is a man in his 70s accused of ordering a teen to perform sex acts at gunpoint, investigators believe more victims are out there, with tips about potential crimes dating back to the 90s. News 6's Jarrell Baker is in Daytona Beach Shores, where officers are urging others to come forward.
Hi, I'm Jarrell Baker here in Volusia County. Now, Daytona Beach Shores Department of Public Safety arrested a 78-year-old man that they say was forcing a 17-year-old to do sexual acts on him at his residence right here off of Atlantic Avenue. And police say there could be more victims of this man, Peter Brady. They say they're already receiving tips dating back to the 1990s. According to the police reports from the Daytona Beach Shores Department of Public Safety, a 17-year-old victim says it started on August 28th. He claims that Brady used an AR-15 to force the victim to perform sexual acts on him at his home off of Atlantic Avenue in Daytona Beach Shores. The teen says that he initially went over to Brady's home to do yard work for money. The report says that the teen returned to the home on September 1st to collect more money offered by Brady for his previous work around the house. He says that Brady again ordered him to perform sexual acts with a pistol while in Brady's car. But then the teen grabbed the gun, threw it away, and drew a pocket knife. That's when Brady fled. The victim says that he met Brady a third time 24 hours later, but this time he recorded Brady on his smartphone. The report says Brady admitted what he had done and attempted to pay the teen to prevent him from going to the police. Daytona Beach Shores officers work with the Southeast Regional SWAT team at the home, seizing around 20 firearms.
Brady is facing charges of aggravated assault with the firearm, false imprisonment, and indecent, lewd, or lascivious touching of certain minors.
We did reach out to his attorney to comment on these accusations, but he refused to speak to us at this time. Here in Volusia County, Jarrell Baker, News 6.
Developing at 10 tonight, new documents reveal more about the scandal that landed Osceola County Sheriff behind bars. Marcos Lopez and several accomplices are accused of running an illegal gambling operation. The documents include pictures of big bags of cash that detectives say were generated over nearly 6 years. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest has covered this story from the beginning. He's digging into these new court documents.
We have just received more than 250 pages of records detailing just some of the prosecution's case against suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez and his 5 co-defendants. Now, there's way too much in here for us to summarize right now, but I did want to point out one piece of evidence. Take a look at this. Among the documents are this text message between Marcos Lopez and Kissimmee businesswoman Ying Kate Zhang. It was reportedly sent more than a year before Lopez was first elected sheriff of Osceola County. The text message reads, quote, "Kate, nothing to worry. No matter what the outcome is when I win, we start the first internet amusement cafe in Osceola County. You will be safe and not have to worry about anything because I will be your sheriff." Now, Lopez would eventually go on to be elected sheriff, not just once, but twice. But back in June, authorities arrested Lopez, and on the same day, the governor suspended him from office. Prosecutors say Lopez received more than $700,000 in payments as part of his role in this alleged illegal gambling operation that expanded from Osceola County to Lake County. Now, Lopez has denied any wrongdoing and has pleaded not guilty to racketeering charges. These documents also include photos of slot machines and gaming tables, bags of cash, financial ledgers, and lots more text messages. Now, we have posted all of these documents on our website, clickorlando.com, so you can check them out for yourself. Mike DeForest, News 6.
Well, the 4 suspects accused of shooting a Florida State University football player from Sanford are being officially held without bond. Ethan Pritchard was shot in the back of the head while taking a relative home in Havana near Tallahassee. Relatives call it a case of mistaken identity. Pritchard's uncle told News 6 his nephew is stable but still has a long road to recovery. Earlier this week, 3 young men were arrested. A teen turned himself in soon after. The 3 are charged with attempted murder, shooting into an occupied vehicle. 23-year-old Germany Atkins is accused of violating the terms of his probation as well. A GoFundMe for Pritchard and his family has nearly $130,000 fundraising goal. We put a link inside this article on the homepage of clickorlando.com. All right, we have much more ahead coming up for you, including Jonathan Kegis with a look at your weather. Jonathan?
Yeah, we are pinpointing still a few downpours trying to sneak on shore tonight. Most of us are dry. Most of the high school football games are pretty good tonight. Just a few downpours along the coast. Getting into tomorrow, we're still going to be looking at the same areas for a couple of downpours. We're going to pinpoint that forecast coming up at about 10:17.
I could be coming home from a late dinner and run into him in my driveway. That'd be a little scary.
This guy considers himself an animal lover, but he told me he's concerned about the black bear that keeps coming to his door. I ask experts what can be done about this. That is next. Also, the lost continent could soon be lost forever at Islands of Adventure. What Universal confirms about demolition crews and one of the park's opening day attractions. You're watching News 6 at 10. We are live on a Friday night. We're covering Melbourne Beach, Metro West, and all of Central Florida. So now on News 6, hate the idea or love it. Florida's first bear hunt in decades is now set to start December 6th. Today, hunters began paying $5 to enter the lottery for 187 permits statewide. Here in Central Florida, only 18 permits will be handed out. That's one for each bear that can be killed. But bear encounters do keep going up. A viewer reached out to our neighborhood news network about a large bear roaming his area, sometimes coming close enough to knock on his door. And he's not in the woods. He's at a loss for what to do, so I went out to his neighborhood in East Orange County.
This one's baller.
Chris Bain considers himself an animal lover.
If you want something like a puppy dog, this is what you want.
From ball pythons to pit bulls,
You give me kisses.
he can't get enough.
I have 42 fish tanks, pet turtles, tortoises. I've got a dog. I've had sugar gliders. I'm an animal lover. Just when animals start to encroach with people, that's where you start to run into a problem.
Recently, a new animal has walked into Bain's life.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Bain spotted this big, ambling black bear on his outdoor cameras, knocking over trash cans, cracking open his fence, and visiting his front door.
And he comes at like 10:30 at night, which is pretty early. Like, I could be coming home from a late dinner and run into him in my driveway. That'd be a little scary.
In fact, it almost happened the other night. Watch this surveillance video of the bear at 8:24 p.m. Then at 9 o'clock, a pizza delivery woman walks the very same path.
What's your biggest fear with this whole situation?
Basically running into him unexpectedly. Coming home and he's there and I'm coming up and run into him and he wants to get past me.
Keep in mind, Bain does not live in a rural area. His home is near the 417 and Colonial. He thinks the bear has taken refuge in this 20-acre preserve behind his house. We reached out to FWC to ask what Bain should do. They said he should move his garbage cans to the garage, which he did, but the bear keeps coming, especially on garbage day.
On Sunday when we got to take him out to the curb, he knows that and he'll go down the street and knock everyone's garbage cans over and eat all their garbage.
Aside from that, according to an email response, the FWC will attempt to capture and humanely kill any bear that shows signs it may be at risk to public safety. So far, this bear has only shown aggression toward trash can lids.
Apparently, the only solution that's out there right now is to hire a bear trapper, and I haven't looked into that yet. It hasn't gotten that serious yet, but I got to talk to my neighbors and see if everyone's willing to, I guess, pitch in.
So Bain is worried, but as far as FWC is concerned, there's nothing they can do. Speaking of encounters, right after this story aired, one of our viewers from Altamont Springs sent us this video. You can see that bear walking around near a fence. Now, if you feel threatened by a bear, you spot an injured, orphaned, or dead bear, you can call the FWC Wildlife Alert Hotline. That number is inside this story on clickorlando.com. Well, it is one of the quieter corners of Islands of Adventure, but tonight, Universal confirms demolition teams are coming soon to the Lost Continent. In a statement to News 6, Universal says they will soon start preparing a 5-acre area for future plans, but it won't reveal yet what those plans are. Lost Continent was one of the park's original islands. It lost half its space for the first Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Its last little ride, the Poseidon's Fury Adventure, that closed in May of 2023, which is a shame. I really liked that one. That was an original, cool ride. This week, the head of Universal confirmed new attractions are coming to all of its Orlando parks. Next year, NASA hopes to launch the Artemis II mission, and your name could make it to the moon. The 4 astronauts are expected to be the first humans to orbit the moon since the Apollo era ended in 1972. Their work will pave the way for Artemis 3 astronauts to actually land on the moon. The Artemis 2 flight is expected to last about 10 days, launching from KSC no sooner than April of 2026. So if you want to be there in spirit, I guess, or on hard drive, NASA is collecting names to add to an SD card loaded aboard the Orion spacecraft and Space Launch System rocket. To add your name and get your boarding pass, you can sign up online before January 21st. We have a link to this story at clickorlando.com. All right, let's get you over to meteorologist Jonathan Kagas.
Yeah.
Jonathan, it seems like the coast has been the one treated to the most rain these days.
It has been, yeah. I feel like, Matt, people might show up on the day of the lines with the boarding pass and try to...
That'd be a little weird.
It's just the name, just the name. We have those scattered downpours. Matt hit the nail on the head here. We have the breeze out of the east, off of the Atlantic, with a few of those scattered downpours again, right along the coast. So again, same deal as last night, early this morning. Don't be surprised if you do hear a stray rumble of thunder. Most of the lightning should stay out over the Atlantic, but better chance for a heavier downpour. Already pushing back closer to us in Oak Hills, Scottsmore, and then back off the Space Coast. That's going to run the risk again early tomorrow morning. So if you are planning to be up along the coast tomorrow early, again, stray downpour. If you're walking the beach, be mindful of that. Inland, we're looking pretty good. 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow if you're heading to the theme parks. Awesome rain chances by 1, only at 20%. They'll go to 30% by 4. I think your day at the theme parks is really very dry, and then certainly the further west you are, the drier you're going to be. Here we go, 11 o'clock tonight. Future Radar doing a nice job again showing some of those downpours pushing in. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, again, I think as far to the west as I-4. That's about as far as the downpours go tomorrow. Then as we get deeper into the day, you're going to notice again along and southeast of I-4, that will be your best opportunity for some downpours. Again, rain chances as a whole tomorrow at about 30%. Notice again where we're on the drier side, hardly even some clouds to the I-75 corridor. So it's going to be a tale of two coasts again, or close to coasts, as the I-75 corridor will be on the drier side. 9 o'clock, most of us are going to be on the dry side. 75 in DeLand. Good evening in Titusville. We're at 77. Now here's a look at your forecast. Temperatures over the next couple of days are going to get back into the mid to upper 80s. We're at 88 in Groveland, 87 in Kissimmee. Palm Bay, we're back to 87 tomorrow. Again, rain chances at 30%. It's been that theme, Matt mentioned it, along I-95 and then pretty much slicing I-4 and points to the south and east. That will be your best opportunity to get in on those downpours tomorrow. Tropical front, there's the wave. There's hardly anything with it. Again, models, again, bullish on development and then dropping out of the signal over the last couple of runs. We talked about this. Main development region of the Atlantic is not that conducive. Hurricane Center did up the chance for development to 40%. It's that orange color now. Regardless of if it does develop, this one should stay up and away and not bother the United States. Certainly don't think this is coming anywhere close to the state of Florida. Always watching, of course, but again, things looking pretty good through the peak of hurricane season. 30% shot for downpours again tomorrow along southeast of I-4. That's the theme. That'll go down a little bit more on Sunday. 20% chance for rain, mainly along the coast again. But it should be oh so nice. We had the hint of it on Thursday. You could feel the drier air out there to some degree again today, and I think that's going to be even enhanced a little bit more later tomorrow evening. And then when you wake up on Sunday morning, especially, Matt.
So many animals were rescued in an alleged hoarding case. But now a local shelter is in desperate need for people to come in and adopt. I'll show you some of the cutest little dogs you've ever seen, now looking for a home. As you can obviously hear, I'm in a room with 13 Malteses. And now the SPCA once again needs your help to come and adopt them. Well, Shelby Hicks can tell you these dogs make excellent watchdogs. The little ones seem to do that all the time. Shelby, tell us, where did these dogs come from?
So earlier last week, we got a call from Brevard County Animal Services that they had a case of about 52 Maltese type dogs, as well as other animals.
52?
Yes, so it was a bunch. The owner passed away, so they stepped in and gave us a call, and they called other rescues in the area as well. And we were able to take in 14, as well as a mom with puppies.
And I have always seen people in the North Brevard community step in, help you when you need it.
Mm-hmm.
You're already getting adoptions?
Yes, we've already got at least one adoption today, so super exciting. And we know as soon as the word gets out that these dogs are available for adoption, they're going to fly out the door.
Fly out the door, because from a breeder, people would pay top dollar for a dog like a purebred Maltese, right?
Yes, and we don't know 100% if they are purebred or not, but they're definitely, the smaller dogs, they tend to get adopted faster.
Has this case challenged you now with space?
Yes, right now we are full, and we're actually running a special right now that all pets over 7 months old that are available for adoption, they are $7 until the 19th.
All right, it's a great deal, everybody, and some beautiful, loving dogs in the building. We have the right number to reach the SPCA if you're interested on clickorlando.com. In Titusville, Brevard County, I'm your community correspondent, James Sparvero, News 6.
Hey, you can find all of tonight's stories and breaking news on News 6 Plus. It's free to download to your smart TV or your streaming device. We'll be back at 11. If we don't see you then, have yourself a great weekend.